as you're building more and more content, as you're making and surfing the headlines, not everyone knows who you are and what you're about. See, expectations are set by you, the creator. But if you're not giving me the container, if you're not telling me exactly what I might see on the show, I might not stick around. And actually, I'm going to go a little bit off script here, and I say off script because there's no specific script, but I want to bring up somebody who I think does a phenomenal job of sharing, and it's amazing. It was right out here on my YouTube, right there. Boom, Jim Cramer.
Now, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade.
Okay, let's go and find, so this is a clip, but I want to find a clip of Jim Cramer at the beginning of his show. So let's see what that looks like. Let's see if this is the beginning. No, see, what I will say about what you just watched here is that was an intro to a very clear segment. See, Jim Cramer is a, financial, he's kind of a fixture on Wall Street, or a fixture in Wall Street news, if you want to say, right? CNBC has been on there for a long, long time. His show Mad Money has been on there for a long, long time. But he has segments to his show. He has buttons that he presses every once in a while that are like cha-ching or boo or whatever it is. And I have these buttons too, right? I can do a little something, right? So what if I took more time to understand where the show was going, right? Somebody like Jim Cramer and the show that he runs on Mad Money has these things built in. They know where they're going. And so in the one-on-one interviews that I do with people, I kind of know where I'm going, but I don't know what these people are saying, but I want to introduce more structure in this way. And I really want to find a clip of Mad Money here. So let's see if I go to...
My mission is simple,
It's
to
right
make
here,
you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. Other people want to make friends. I'm just trying to make you some money. My job is not just to entertain, but to teach and educate you. So call me at 1-800-743-CBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. Tonight, I want to share some of my
Boom. See what he did there? Let's just watch that again. I could say his intro word for word. I know his intro. Now, I'm not talking about this animation here. I'm not talking about that. I know that too.
Simple.
My mission is simple.
To make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for
all investors.
There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. Other people want to make friends. I'm just trying to make you some money. My job is not just to entertain, but to teach and educate you. So call me at 1-800-743-CBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. Tonight, I want to share some of my accumulated wisdom.
He shares with you what the show is about. No matter how many years he's been on TV, he's telling you the culture of what he's creating every single time you watch that show. Now, the reason for that is because as you're building more and more content, as you're making and surfing the headlines, not everyone knows who you are and what you're about. See, this podcast right now, this episode here is a little meta, but it's telling me that, when I was in Tulum, when I was in Mexico, enjoying the beaches, what I realized is I didn't have that intro. I would always just start with something funny and interesting, and I always, I think about the first 3 to 10 seconds of a podcast, and I want to make it funny, and I want to make it interesting, and I do that naturally. I have, something, but it's not informing you of the format of what to expect. See, expectations are set by you, the creator. But if you're not giving me the container, if you're not telling me exactly what I might see on the show, I might not stick around. So in his intro, and if I played it longer, he's going to start diving into a topic immediately, but he might cover also elements of what he's going to cover in the rest of the show so that you stick around. So if I knew what that was when I hit record, if I knew where the conversation was going when I'm doing a solo cast, which I do to some degree, but I let you know coming in, and I designed my intro to have that, hey, I'm Cramer. You know what I mean? That whole piece where he's like, my goal is not only to educate you, but to make, man, I'm losing the words, but it's some people are trying to make friends. I'm just here to make you a little bit of money. You know what I mean? Like that line. So it gives you a reason to watch, not to like him, but to understand what he's there to serve you in, what he's there to accomplish for you. And then he talks about for you to learn and educate you and all the different things and those components there. And so it's designed for the beginner investor or the intermediate investor that gets to hear a little bit about what he's doing. And even pro investors might every once in a while watch what he has to say or what he has to do. But that intro, that component of what he's putting out is crucial to the growth of the show. Because people who do not know me do not know what the show is about and don't know what I'm about and don't know my background. So if I can instill and plant that seed over and over and over again in the podcast, that's going to help. Now, I've done that. I've built a little intro sequence, right? So I've got a little bit of that semblance where I take one of the best pieces of a podcast and I put it at the beginning. So let's just watch how I do it. See, this podcast has no rules. It's about passion. Decent. Welcome to the Superhero Academy podcast. I'm your host, Marc Angelo. Hello, superheroes. Wow. Decent, right? Decent. Like, it's cool, it's interesting, it's well done videography-wise, but is it well done from the perspective that the audience truly understands what this show is about? And the answer is no. Now, I still think that I should take the most interesting clip of an episode, put it at the front, run an intro piece like that, right? That whole like soundtrack, that whole piece. But when I first come on camera, it shouldn't just be me being like, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It has some components. See how I did that? See how I already know elements of my brand. I've designed components of what I'm doing. And sometimes I say ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I say superheroes. Superheroes is the better way of going about it. So having my script is the first thing I'm going to be working on in the next episode of this podcast. You're going to see me test different little versions of that script over the next couple of episodes. And I'm going to try and keep it succinct, right? I'm going to try and say it within like 20 seconds. So I got your attention with a little opening. I've got a little branding piece with the brand component, and I've got that 20-second opener that lets you know what this podcast is about and why, more importantly, it matters to you. That's the key, right? The key to a good show is that the show is entertaining or educational or whatever it's looking to achieve for the viewer. You see, I've been running this podcast too selfishly. I've focused on building relationships with the person who was sitting across from me when I was doing interviews. That was the real reason I started the podcast back in 2013, was to meet interesting people. But that doesn't make it a better show if this is now going to escape just a normal podcast and actually turn into a full-fledged production and show.